President Trump, once a close friend of Epstein's, do anything, quote, inappropriate. Michael Cohen writes, quote, the DOJ's release of Maxwell's audio creates more questions than answers. A scripted performance, redactions everywhere, and rising suspicion prove one thing: the full truth will never surface. Michael's back with us. Michael, that's really depressing. You don't think, though, with so many people and bipartisan support fighting for accountability and transparency, and a lot of forces within the MAGA movement being very impassioned about getting to the bottom of this, you think that truth will not see the light of day?
No. Donald Trump right now controls the House, and Mike Johnson will never bring this to the floor, regardless of whether it's 6 or 8, somewhere along the line. Trump and his team will reach out to those individuals and they will figure something out. But even still, I've maintained all along that the way Trump was describing that he has never been to Epstein Island, I'm telling you, and I got so much slack from my own supporters. How could you say, if he says that he was never on Epstein Island, that means he was never on? No. I'm not saying he's never been to the house in Madison, between Madison and Fifth. I'm just saying he's never been on that island. Well, why is he in the flight logs 1,000 times? Because he got a free ride down to Palm Beach, right? I mean, let's be serious. There's nothing better than having a friend with an airplane who's willing to pay for the gas.
Well, and so Trump, you started working for Trump in 2006. And so by that point, his friendship with Epstein had soured a bit.
No, not soured a bit. It was over in 2005.
What did he say about it?
He didn't. There was I had no conversations with Trump up until the point that Epstein ended up committing suicide.
Did he ever talk about Ghislaine Maxwell?
No. I mean, that's the funny thing. And when I say that, people are like, no, you're lying. You dealt with this Jane Doe case. Yeah, which was not a legitimate case. 48 hours after I received the summons and complaint on it, the lawyers dropped it because there was no such individual. In fact, Lisa Rubin, who was representing this other individual, Katie Johnson, herself made it crystal clear that Katie Johnson and Jane Doe are not the same person. So why people just don't want to understand it? Two things could be possible at the same time.
Let me play. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to play for you a soundbite from the interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, where she kind of basically praises Trump. And obviously, everyone's kind of reading a little bit into that as her attempt to try and get a pardon. I want to get your thoughts on the other side of it. Take a listen.
Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me. And I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now. And I like him, and I've always liked him. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
So that flattery did not go unnoticed. Is that what it takes to get a pardon from Donald Trump?
Well, you're certainly not going to get a pardon if you criticize him. That's certainly for sure. But, there's parts to there that I wrote about in my Substack that are absolutely true. For example, the whole issue, she never saw Trump get a massage. Interestingly enough, we had a conversation about massages and these massage parlors after the Bob Kraft incident. And I remember him saying, yeah, that's never going to happen to me. I'm not into massages. And I said to him, funny, I've never had one myself. I don't like it either. And I write about it in my Substack. He's not comfortable letting somebody basically control the room. So that's probably true. The flattery, though, that's all about the pardon. And chances are, look, we've already seen what's happened. She's moved from a significantly higher facility to, in an unprecedented manner, to a low security institution, which, by the way, you cannot be there if you have more than 10 years remaining in your sentence, or if you're a sex offender. You can't. It's unprecedented, but the President of the United States is capable of doing it. with just a phone call.
To be fair, though, I mean, when you're talking about the references to massages and masseuses, it's clear when you look at the hours and hours of audio there that she's using masseuse as sort of a euphemism for something that doesn't, you know, it's not what you're getting at like Massage Envy or like your local spot in the neighborhood. I want you to take a listen to some sound from Congressman Jim Jordan yesterday on Fox, and I want to get your response on the other side.
We knew President Trump didn't do anything wrong here. He said that repeatedly. This transcript is the whole transcript, and it confirms that. So yeah, I think this is there's nothing there. It seems based on what we got from the interview of Miss Maxwell.
So already it seems like what she offered to Todd Blanche has, closed the case here. Is this sort of the predictable outcome of what this whole
What did you expect Jim Jordan to say? Of all the people that you showed me a video, the guy who I dislike almost the most in D.C., right? So nobody takes Jim Jordan seriously. But here's the thing. When you do have only an audio, I would rather see it as a video. And I was thinking to myself, if I was doing it only as audio and I was on that side of the aisle, I would have a script. I'd be sitting with a 3-ring notebook, and it would be like, I'm going to read you the question, and there's your prepared response, because these responses are so innocuous, they're so broad and overgeneralized that they don't say anything. And that's why I say Trump has fixed the game. This is not the game that Washington remembers or even understands. The DNC, they have no idea. They have no idea how to deal with this. And so it's every single day we're going to wake up to more chaos. We're going to wake up with more scenarios that just erode our democratic republic, our norms, until we just one day wake up and we just don't recognize America any longer.
Do you think that this scandal has gotten in Donald Trump's head?
Well, this is certainly bothering, and there's no doubt about that, because his MAGA base is angry for so many years. What did they do? They were touting, oh, this is a democratic cabal of sex traffickers and pedophiles and so on, and we need to hold them accountable. Absolutely. Every person, I don't care, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Martian, it doesn't make a difference. Anybody that touches a child, for God's sakes, there should be accountability. Sadly, I just don't see it happening. Again, Trump has taken over the game. This is not this is not the field that Washington has ever seen before.
Michael Cohen, good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, good to be here.
Up next on the Weekend Primetime, Illinois Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy joins us to discuss the reports that Trump is